How's everybody doing? Welcome back to my channel for a brand new video. So today I have another character guide for you. We'll be taking a look at Azucena and covering the basics of her character. This is a beginner's guide, an introductory guide meant to give you a starting foundation on how to play Azucena. I'm going to do my best to keep it as simple and clean as possible. And I'm not going to be overloading you with information such as frames. I'm not going to be doing all of that because that can get a little overwhelming. The purpose of this guide is to teach you about the character, the most basic steps, and encourage you to learn by feel. I'm going to give you some pointers, and then it is your goal, it is your responsibility to take the character into practice mode and build from what I'm teaching you. Get creative, gain more experience, practice, and the rest of the more complicated stuff will come later. So, if for some reason you're a more seasoned player, and you're wondering why I'm skipping some stuff, why certain things are not covered, I would refer to the points I just made. It's an introductory guide, beginner friendly, as much as possible. So, with that out of the way, let's get started. First of all, what kind of character is Azucena? To start, she hits like a truck. Her damage output hurts, and in addition to that, she is very evasive due to her stance and auto parries. She's aggressive, and also she has very good counter hit options. All of this while doing it in style through dance, more or less. So overall, she's a very fun character to play and very satisfying to land combos with. To start off, I want to talk about her jabs. She has two variations. She has her regular 1-2, regular jabs, 1-2, very simple. One thing I like about this move is that it actually has a wall splat property. So if you're at the wall and you throw this move out, as you can see, your opponent will be in a wall splat state. From here, you can follow it up to do a full combo. So I just want you to remember that. 1-2, 10 frame, jab string, and it has wall splat properties. Up next, we have her 1-1. This is also a variation of her jab, and it looks like this. That was her 1-1. As you can see, the key difference between the previous jab string we covered and this one is that when her 1-1 jab connects, it automatically puts her into her stance. We call this Liberator Stance, and we'll cover more of this stance in detail later. But I want you to remember, she has 1-1. And this does open up a lot of opportunities. In addition to that, she has down forward 1. This is a very good mid poke. I'm always a believer that if your character has a good down forward 1, you should be abusing it no matter what. And Azucena has a pretty good one. And the reason why is because she actually has an extension from this regular hit. She has down forward 1-4, just like so. This is a 2-hit string. It is good for checking your opponent mid, and it's even better because this string is actually safe on block. So down forward 1-4 is safe on block, and your opponent cannot duck it. So one thing you notice is that it is a mid into a high. Normally, opponents are able to duck a follow-up high string, but Azucena has a very unique one in the fact that you cannot duck this. If you throw this out and your opponent blocks it, they will not be able to duck this. So what this means is that you can keep on doing this and pressure your opponent with it. Don't be shy about using this. In addition to that, she has more follow-ups from her down forward 1-4. So she has down forward 1-4-1. What I recommend is to pressure your opponents and frustrate them with down forward 1. Maybe throw out a couple of jabs like this, down forward 1, down forward 1-4. Throw out a few of these, and then at the end, your opponent might get frustrated and might be inclined to try to mash out of the string, and that's when you hit them with the follow-up string. Down forward 1, just like that. Down forward 1-4-1, just at the end. Just like that. And the reason why I say this, that you want to be pressuring your opponent, is because at the end of that string, if you hit him in a counter hit, look what happens. Your opponent gets counter hit and you are allowed to get a free combo off of that. She also has down forward 1, 4, 2, and it looks like this. One thing I want to point out is that the input of that move is a little different than normal, and I have the actual move pulled up here on top. As you can see, there are brackets, right? You have your 1 and 2 in the brackets. What this means is that after doing the first 2 hits, the first 2 hits are down forward 1, 4, like that. What you want to do after that is that you quickly want to press 1 and then immediately follow up into the 2. I want you to pay attention to my controller and how it looks, and also the sound, as that'll help you out. Next on the list is down 1. This move right here. This is a very good move. The reason why, it forces crouch, it's safe. Basically, what I'm saying, this is one of those moves where you have to abuse as much as you can. Don't be shy about throwing this out. It also has counter hit properties, because on counter hit, look what happens. Your opponent bounces from the floor, allowing you to get a full combo. So once again, counter hit, and then you can start your combo from there. An interesting move that I think is actually very valuable that should be used is up forward 2. This one right here. I like this move because it has a built-in sidestep to the right. As you can see, as Azucena does this move, she lunges to her right side and then throws out her punch. Another thing that I like about up forward 2 is that if you land it as a counter hit, you do get a combo from it. As you can see, you can get a full combo. So also keep that in mind as well. I also want to point out her up forward 4. This move right here. This move reminds me of, it's like an orbital type move, like a butterfly edge. If you've played Tekken 7, think of Josie. This has the same properties. The reason why is because Azucena jumps into the air, comes down with a mid attack. So this already avoids lows. So if you catch your opponent maybe throwing a low, this will avoid it while giving you a hit. Not only that, but this also allows you to get a combo. Right? So let's say you throw this out and you land. You can go into down 2, 3 and start your combo from there. As for lows, down back 4. Regular down 4, just like that. Down 3. From full crouch, she has this as well. And on counter hit, full crouch down forward 3 allows Azucena to get a free throw out of crouch. And that goes into heat. Another move to consider is her forward, forward, 4. Just like that. This is a very good move because, as you can see, it already leaves the opponent crouching on hit. Just like that. Much like down 1, I would recommend throwing this out every now and then. It's one of those moves where you shouldn't really be shy about using. Mix it up with that. Go like that. And of course, we can't forget about Azucena's while running 2. This is probably her signature move as of right now, and it looks like this. That's not what I wanted. That's what I wanted. While running 2. And as you can see, it even has wall splat properties. It's oppressive. It is oppressive. And this can be used to really lock down your opponent. So always remember this move. To get the most effectiveness out of Azucena's while running 2, it is best to know how to do it at point blank range. Just like that. We call this maneuver instant while running, and I actually just made a guide on how to perform it. And the reason why it's important is because for a move like this, it's a very powerful move. But if you are doing it from a distance, because Azucena has to be running, if your opponent sees you over here, already they're thinking, okay, they might try to go for the while running move, and then your opponent will be able to predict, sidestep it, duck it, anything like that, and they will be able to punish it. So from here, they're maybe already thinking you're gonna do that. As opposed to here, doing it point blank range, it's harder to predict. Now let's talk about her punishers. For 10 frame, you want to do 1, 2, or 1-1. 12 frame, you want to be doing 4-1. 13 frame Punisher, down forward 1-4. 14 frame Punisher is 3-3. 15 frame Punisher is down forward 2. While standing Punishers, 10 frame, down back 1. 11 frame, while standing 4-1. 13 frame, while standing 1. 15 frame, while standing 2. Okay, now let's talk about her stance. I'm not going to be covering the full details of it because it does get complicated and we want to keep this as simple as possible. So her stance is called Liberator Stance and you can access it manually by pressing forward 3+4. Just like that. From here, she can actually walk backwards, walk forward, or side to side. In this stance, she has auto parries. So she's able to parry highs, and she can also parry lows. To start off, these are generally the moves that you want to be doing at a stance. Stance 1. She also has a follow-up, stance 1-2. Stance 4-1 and 4-2. From stance, she has a couple lows, but my go-tos, at least to start off, are 3. And it does put her into Backturn stance, and we'll talk more about that later. And also, she has down 4-4. She does have a launcher out of this. Stance 1+2. Very powerful move. High launcher. Allows you to get a full combo. But if it's blocked, you're going to get killed. So if you're feeling confident, Hail Mary, whatever, definitely throw this out. Oh, and if you want to fake that out, she does have the ability to cancel it by holding back. So what it looks like normally is this, right? Big launcher. But if you want to cancel it, hold back the moment you do the move. Alright, so now we're in Backturn stance. From here, 3+4. This is a mid. It avoids lows. And if you connect this move, it allows you to get a full combo. So let's say I connect it. You can go to 4, 4, 4, 3. She also has a big low out of that stance, which would be Backturn 3. Whoa, that was in sync. That was tight. And then if this connects, it goes into her Liberator stance. From Backturn stance, one thing I do like to do is go for throws because she does have access to that. And the reason why I say this is because it gives your opponent more to think about. Because if you're in regular stance like this, it's easy to tell what throw you're gonna go for. You know, you can view the arms, they're visible. But if you're in Backturn stance, it kind of hides them a little bit. So it does give your opponent more to think about, and the success rate might be a little bit higher. Also, before I forget, I do want to point out Backturn 2-2. This is a really cool move. I love the animation, does decent damage, and it's not hard to do. If you're in Backturn, just hit the punch button twice. Just smash it out, and you'll get it. Azucena in Heat. I think the most interesting thing about Azucena in Heat is that she dashes up. If you notice what happened there, one thing you can do while dashing up is you go into down 3+4 and you're able to get a full combo from that. And perhaps the coolest thing about Azucena in Heat is that if she's in stance, all highs get auto countered and all lows get auto parried. Just like that. I should have said they get auto launched. Azucena can go into Heat by universal command 2+3, forward 4-4, forward 1+2, back 3, Liberator 2. And of course, while Heat is activated, some of her move properties change. So for example, regularly, back 2, all it does is just knock your opponent away. But if Azucena has Heat activated and she does back 2 and holds forward to perform a Heat dash, she can get a combo. I dropped the combo there, but the principle still applies. Let me show it again. Something like that. As for combos, she does have a lot of options that she can do. But when you're learning a new character, I'm always of the belief that you should just learn one combo that works for basically every situation. And you can use the sample combos, they're very valid, but let me just give you a simple combo, a basic combo that you can do with Azucena that works in practically every scenario. Right there. And there you have it. Just a basic guide on how to play Azucena. As mentioned, this is an introductory starter guide meant to just give you an idea on how to play the character, what key moves you should be looking out for, so on and so forth. The rest of the more in detail, more in-depth stuff, such as covering her stances, her back turn, heat properties, that all comes later, because when you're starting out learning a character, it's best to just keep it as simple and clean as possible. Don't rush. It's not good to overload your brain with all this information, all these numbers coming at you from side to side, all the frames. I'm of the belief that when you're learning a character, it's best to keep it as simple as possible and kind of play by feel. And as you get better, the rest will come naturally and you'll seek out that information. But to begin, as mentioned, keep it as simple as possible. It's the best way to learn. I hope this helped out. Let me know what y'all thought. Other than that, I hope you guys have a good night. Stay safe out there, take care, and I'll see you in the next video.